On the eve of the CCP's fourth plenum, the spotlight unexpectedly shifts to Sydney, Australia. A luxury car DUI case has ignited global attention among Chinese communities. At her third court appearance, young Lanlan's lawyer confirmed they are engaged in plea negotiations with prosecutors, timed precisely before the fourth plenum. Public opinion suspects the seemingly ordinary car crash is being pushed onto Zhongnanhai's battlefield of narrative warfare. Who is she? Why so sensitive? The truth is fermenting. Don't miss the next drop, subscribe and enable the bell. Just 3 days before the CCP's fourth plenum, the most unexpected focal point for observers wasn't Beijing, but a local court in Sydney, Australia. A drunk driving case has tugged at the nerves of Chinese communities worldwide. The central figure, young Lanlan. She didn't show up in court, yet the gallery was packed, roughly 90% ethnic Chinese. She said nothing, yet public discourse exploded. On October 17, her attorney formally told the Sydney local court, "We are currently conducting plea negotiations with the prosecution." What does that mean? It means this seemingly straightforward DUI case is moving toward a real-world turning point, and in the public eye, it looks even more like a signal in a political storm. Why can a traffic incident make Chinese communities, media, and even insiders within the CCP so tense? Because the name behind it leads not only to legal issues, but also to power, money, and a huge question about identity. She drives a Tiffany blue Rolls-Royce worth 1.5 million Australian dollars, lives in a luxury residence, can afford top lawyers, yet almost no past record can be found. Some say they know her true background. Online versions are growing ever more outlandish, even suspected to involve families at the heart of Zhongnanhai. Conveniently, this all unfolds on the eve of the fourth plenum. The meeting was delayed, public scrutiny amplified, and media exposés multiplied. A Sydney car crash has suddenly been pushed onto center stage in politics. Coincidence? Or orchestration? Did she stir the storm, or did the storm find her? Next, let's unpack how a courtroom case spilled onto the political arena. The young Lanlan case, third mention in court. On the morning of October 17, at Sydney's Downing Centre local court, the case of young Lanlan, accused of drunk driving a luxury car and causing serious injuries, was mentioned for the third time. The latest development, defendant Young did not appear in person. Her attorney, Cohen, confirmed they are engaged in plea negotiations with the prosecution and requested another adjournment on that basis. The court approved, setting the next date for November 14. The whole mention lasted less than 10 minutes. After proceedings began, Attorney Cohen stated that on October 15 he had already emailed the court requesting an adjournment because time was needed to conduct plea negotiations. He argued in court that this was a reasonable step. At present, the plea negotiations are proceeding in a two-step process. The first phase is an informal plea step, in which the parties reach a preliminary acceptance around a plea proposal, a stage expected to take about 2 weeks. If the plea proposal is formally accepted, it will then require roughly another 2 weeks to complete the documentation and submit it for review by police upper management. The court granted the adjournment but emphasized that at the next mention the defendant must formally state whether she will plead guilty or not guilty. The court noted the matter has been mentioned multiple times already. So what is a plea negotiation? Legally, it's a process whereby defense and prosecution resolve a criminal case without a full trial through agreement. In other words, Young and her legal team do not appear fully confident of winning an acquittal at trial. Precisely for that reason, they are willing to sit down with the prosecution to hash out a plea negotiation. This step is not the posture of someone certain of victory, but a realistic assessment of risk. The prosecution reiterated that the 4 charges against Young remain unchanged: refusing or failing to undergo a breath test, dangerous driving occasioning grievous bodily harm, failing to provide identity information to police, and negligent driving occasioning grievous bodily harm. In the Downing Centre that day, roughly 90% of the public gallery consisted of ethnic Chinese observers, highlighting the community's intense interest. In the early morning of July 26, 2025, in Rose Bay, an affluent Sydney suburb, a Tiffany blue Rolls-Royce Cullinan worth 1.5 million Australian dollars, allegedly driven the wrong way by an intoxicated Young, collided head-on with a Mercedes van. Young was unscathed, the Mercedes driver suffered severe injuries. On August 15, at the first mention, Young appeared via video but did not formally enter a plea. Police said additional charges would be laid, and the case was adjourned. On September 26, at the second mention, Yang did not appear. She again made no plea to the 4 charges, and the case was adjourned once more. On October 17, at the third mention, Yang again did not appear. The case was again adjourned, with the next date set for November 14. Yang's lawyer speaks to media. After the mention concluded, Attorney Cohen was immediately surrounded by media outside the court and gave a brief interview. Regarding Yang's mysterious background, Cohen refused to disclose any personal details, saying they were irrelevant to the trial. Asked what kind of plea deal they were seeking, Cohen replied only a positive one, declining to provide specifics. He said, Yang does not need to appear in person. If a plea deal is reached, she is expected to be required to attend with us. When asked whether Yang had expressed an apology to the victim or shown concern for the victim's health, Cohen replied, "That is something I raised with the officer in charge within 10 days of the incident." When asked whether Yang came from a wealthy family, Cohen said, "Can I tell you frankly? That has nothing to do with what I'm doing for her, so I've never asked." When a reporter followed up, "Have you ever asked whether she has any links to the Chinese Communist Party?" Cohen responded, "Tell me why that is relevant to what I need to do in court." Pressed on whether Yang holds a foreign passport or dual nationality, and whether he knew about the online speculation concerning her identity and who she is, Cohen answered that these issues were entirely irrelevant to the case and said he has a habit of not following media coverage. Regarding the intense public and media interest in this case, Cohen admitted he was puzzled. He said he had previously represented Chinese actor Gao Yinxiang in a far more serious matter, yet it never drew such heat. The level of interest this time is somewhat beyond my understanding. Cohen was indeed Gao Yinxiang's lawyer. In 2018, Gao was accused of sexual assault at the Shangri-La Hotel. After 2 years, Gao was acquitted. But with Yang, the entire internet shows no such person. Even so, she drives a luxury car, lives in a penthouse, and can hire a star lawyer. Because she is so invisible, netizens are determined to dig her out. In reality, Cohen certainly knows basic facts about Yang. He simply gave watertight answers to the press. According to the Daily Mail, Cohen applied to vary bail conditions. On September 26, he told Magistrate Megan Greenwood that Yang is a foreign national with Australian permanent residency and is currently a student. Yang was sent to Australia at age 14 and has seldom returned to China since. Yang suffers from serious mental health issues and lives almost reclusively in her luxury penthouse. The Lanlan case, a political lever before the fourth plenum. A car crash has struck Zhang Nanhai's nerves. In Beijing, the air feels unusually heavy before the CCP's fourth plenum. Xi Jinping's on-camera expression has grown increasingly rigid. At this moment, a seemingly ordinary traffic accident in far-off Sydney has quietly been placed at the center of a power struggle. From that moment, the name Yang Lanlan became one of the most sensitive terms within Zhang Nanhai. The case has been mentioned 3 times, adjourned again and again. Foreign media reports, Chinese community chatter, and anonymous leaks are surging. From her luxury car and residence to family funds and nominee-held assets, and the most explosive claim, she may not be an ordinary international student, but Xi Jinping's illegitimate daughter. None of this can be verified, but one phenomenon can't be ignored: it's been detonated at a precisely sensitive moment before the fourth plenum. Thus, an accidental car crash morphs into a political weapon. According to Secret China and the commentator Shan Hedongfu in an October 10 self-media program, party elders deliberately delayed the fourth plenum until after Yang Lanlan's October 17 court appearance in order to use Yang's case to undermine Xi Jinping's political image and moral authority, since the rumors point to Xi's personal conduct and family wealth scandals. This claim was reprinted by several self-media outlets, including China News Center and Xinhua, the Epoch Times Chinese-language commentary column, but there is no official document or mainstream outlet confirming it. It remains in the realm of political speculation and public opinion analysis. It is worth noting that the South China Morning Post previously reported there was indeed internal coordination around a postponed schedule for the fourth plenum, indicating divisions at the top. At the same time, some analyses point out that the timing of the Yang case, the rhythm of public opinion, and the political calendar match suspiciously well, suggesting the matter could be used by certain factions as a trial pressure campaign against Xi. In this information war, Yang has been thrust into the spotlight as a most lethal public opinion lever against Xi Jinping. Every rumor about her is like a carefully designed political bullet, piercing the image defenses around Xi's core. On the surface, Xi remains the trinity leader of party, state, and military. In practice, his power appears to be gradually hollowed out. Military authority has drifted toward Zhang Youxia, governance is constrained by party elders, and now, even the narrative battlefield no longer fully answers to him. The Yang case has become the last PR straw threatening to break Xi's back. A seemingly accidental legal matter is being used as a public opinion offensive within the party against Xi. Yang's alleged background resurfaces? Commentator Shanhe Dongfu has recounted insider information he claims to have obtained through comrades, putting it in the voice of Xi's ally Wang Xiaohong and concretizing widely circulating online rumors. Young Lanlan's real name is Xi Minglan, born in Hangzhou in 2002. Her mother is Yang Xiaoyun, an actress in the Zhejiang Baiwayu opera troupe. In early 2002, then Fujian Governor Xi Jinping, while inspecting cultural work in Hangzhou, fell for Yang at first sight. Under arrangements by Wang Xiaohong, Xi and Yang dined at Zhejiang Hotel in Hangzhou, with Lai Changqing's sister Liu Bai also at the table. At the dinner, Yang allegedly praised Xi, "Your hands are large and thick, you will surely hold great power." After dinner, Xi and Yang went to the Shihu State Guest House to further discuss work. Yang became pregnant, and at the end of 2002, she gave birth to a child named Xi Minglan, who uses Yang Lanlan as a cover name in public. The leaker claims this is Xi's fifth child and alleges she prepared $300 billion for each child from a family fund, mainly from overseas investment returns. This sensational storyline spread online with astonishing speed. No one can prove Yang's parentage, and no one can entirely negate the political value of the episode. On Beijing's power map, she may be just a pawn. But this pawn has been pushed onto Xi Jinping's most vulnerable square. The agenda for the CCP's fourth plenum hasn't been announced yet, but the political world is waiting to see whether a car crash from the southern hemisphere will become a genuine power incident.